Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How's everybody doing? Oh, Frenchie thinks somebody's at the door. Frenchie, nobody's at the door, honey. Mommy's going live. Come here. So she wants to join us again this morning. Come here, Kanie. Looks like her brother might join us too. Good morning. Hi, Jamie. How are you? Oh, it's Thursday. Jen, good morning. I don't know if you had a chance to read our 100 Days to Brave yet this morning, Jen, but oh my gosh, the garden example is so good. So good. Hi, Joan. Hi, Banny. Good morning. So glad to have you joining me here this morning. I have a little treat for all of us this morning. So jump on. Tell me where you're from. And give me a little idea of what your day has in store for you. I've got a real busy day back in the office officially starting yesterday, and it's been a little bit busy, that's for sure. Kids went back to their dad's last night, so got some friends coming in on Friday who are moving down here and looking at houses, and so that's going to be good for them as well. Hi, Alicia. Good morning. Christine, good to see you. I don't know about you guys, but it has been raining like crazy here in Florida, which they say Michigan had 4 seasons. They say Florida has 2, rainy and dry. But that's definitely something new. Hi, Ginny. Good morning. I'm so glad I got to see you when I was up in Michigan. Hi, Zach. Good morning. Catherine, good morning. Okay, so I want to go ahead and get started. I'm really excited. Now, you may or may not know this, but in my former life, I was a elementary school teacher. I had a language arts, math, and middle school degree. So that actually put me through the 9th grade. And I did teach a lot in middle school, but I loved using stories to get a point across or to teach a lesson. If I ever could use a children's book to teach a story, I would. And I want you to know, I came across this book while I was on Mackinac Island, and I was captivated from the minute I saw the cover. Obviously, what's going on in the world today in the area of racial injustice and the movement with Black Lives Matter. And it says, the day you begin. And I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to love that book. You guys, it's been a long time since I bought a children's book. I used to buy children's book nonstop. My kids' book orders coming home were still for me. I knew they would read them, obviously, but there's something about a children's book that, good morning, Stan, that passes on a message in a way that only a child's book can do. So I'm going to read this book with you this morning. And I actually read it with my kids yesterday before they went to their dad's house. And I wrote down a few statements that the kids made as they were sharing ahas from it. Good morning, Lauren Murphy. You're sweet. Thank you. I'm excited. I'm excited for us to dive into this together and unpack the lessons together. So shall we go ahead and get started? By the way, cheers to coffee this morning. I already had my celery. That was amazing. I'm not going to read you their quotes yet. I'm just going to read the book to you. And it's called, I'm going to try to do this without smushing Frenchie, who's sitting right next to me. I don't think I can do it like this. Let's see if I can. Okay, so it's called The Day You Begin by Jacqueline Woodson. Okay, I'm so excited. Are you excited? Okay, I'm excited to read this with you. Here we go. There's the picture, and the book says, there will be times when you walk into a room and no one there is quite like you. Now, as we read this book, I want to read it from a couple different perspectives. I want to read it from the perspective of differences, skin color, culturally, language. That's going to be very apparent as we read through this. But I also want you to think about those times in your life where you feel like you just don't fit in. Think about that. Good morning, Zach. Good morning, Noelle. Hi, Mary Lisa. Okay, we're reading a child's book this morning, and you're going to love it. Here we go. By the way, share this on your wall. Tag a few people that you have a feeling they just don't know where they fit in. They just don't know where they fit in. Okay, so there will be times when you walk in a room and there's no one quite like you. Have you ever felt that way before? All right, so here we go. Some pictures. Maybe it will be your skin, your clothes, or the curl of your hair. There will be times when no one understands the way words curl from your mouth, the beautiful language of the country you left behind, My name is Rigoberto. We just moved here from Venezuela, and because they don't understand, the class will fill with laughter until the teacher quiets everyone down. Ever been in a situation like that before? Listen, how often do you just get to sit back and hear a child's story? Here you go. It's your time. Rigoberto, from Venezuela, your teacher says so softly and beautifully that your name in homeland sounds like flowers blooming the first bright notes of a song. Isn't that the truth? One person can make someone else feel like they belong. There will be times when the words don't come. Your own voice, once huge, now smaller, when the teacher asks, "What did you do last summer?" Tell the class your story. One kid says, "We went to France," Chayla says. "These shells came from a beach in Maine." A boy named Jonathan holds out a jar filled with tiny shells so fragile they look like they'll turn to dust in your own untraveled hands. "My whole family went to India, Spain, South Carolina. Each souvenir a small triumph of a journey, their travels going on and on." This is so good. This is so good. And as you stand in front of the room, you can only remember how the heat waved as it lifted off the curve, and your days spent at home caring for your little sister, who made you laugh out loud and hugged you hard at nap time. You can only remember the books you kept on reading long after she had fallen to sleep. And in that room, where no one else is quite like you, you'll look down at your own empty hands and wonder what good is this when other students were flying and sailing and going everywhere, somewhere. Isn't that the truth? This is good. This is so good. Just wait. It gets better. All right, so there's the classroom again, and there's a young girl sitting there. There will be times when the lunch your mother packed for you is kind of strange and too unfamiliar for others to love as you do. How do you feel? When even your own friend Nadia will winkle her nose and say, "What's in there anyway?" And you'll wonder how she doesn't see the rice beneath the meat and kimchi. You'll wonder why she doesn't remember that rice is the most popular food in the world. Here we are, kids playing on the playground. There will be times when the climbing bars are too high, the run is too fast and far, the game isn't one you can ever really play. I don't want him on our team. You can watch. Maybe you can have a turn later. Man, does any of this resonate with you? Hi, Lisa Spicer. Oh my goodness, good morning. There will be times when the world feels like a place that you're standing all the way outside of. Everybody's there, and this young boy's watching from way out there. Gosh, can any of us relate to this? And it doesn't have to even be about skin color or different language or, gender. I mean, I think regardless, there are times we all have felt on the outside looking in. Am I right? And all that stands beside you is your own brave self, steady as steel and ready, even though you don't yet know what you're ready for. There will be times when you walk into a room and no one there is quite like you until the day you begin to share your story. My name is Angelina, and I spent my whole summer with my little sister. You tell the class, your voice stronger than it was a minute ago, reading books and telling stories. And even though we were right on our block, it was like we got to go everywhere. Good for her, right? The Day You Begin. I love the name of this book. Your name is like my sister's, Rigoberto said. Her name is Angelina too. And all at once in the room where no one else is quite like you, the world opens itself up a little wider to make space for you. This is the day that you begin to find the places inside your laughter and your lunches, your books and your travel and your stories, where every new friend has something a little like you and something else so fabulously not quite like you at all. Ooh, I love that word, fabulously. Look at them having fun out on the playground. I love that. I'm going to go back and just read that line one more time because that was the last page. This is the day that you begin. It's a day where to find the places inside your laughter, your lunches, your books, your travel, your stories, your own unique experiences, right? where every new friend has something a little like you, but also something so fabulously not quite like you. When is the last time we've looked at our differences and called them fabulously unique, fabulously different? You know, I mean, I think far too often we compare ourselves with others in ways that just beat us down. Just beat us down instead of making us feel special and uniquely made. So I'm interested to hear some of your thoughts after reading that, which, by the way, thank you for, taking this journey with me. I mean, I am telling you, the amount of children's books that I have that are uniquely picked to teach a lesson, you know, whether it's about emotions, whether it's about diversity. You know, I've got so many children's book like this, but this one really stood out to me for a lot of reasons. Do you know what Skylar said? I asked the kids, I said, after you read that, what are you thinking about? My daughter Skylar said, "Thank you, Lord. You made us all special in different ways." I love that. I love that she said that. I love that she's learning to appreciate differences. Colton thought he loved the word uniquely fabulous. And Landon said how much we get trapped in comparing ourselves to others. And, you know, it reminds me of the book by, what's his name? It's called Star-Bellied Sneetches, right? Where you weren't cool if you didn't have a star on your belly. And so we're in reality, like, we're just different. And why do we always want to try to be the same instead of celebrating our unique differences? And seeing how our unique differences can bring such zest to one another's life, right? Like it just can bring so much. So, you know, one of the things I thought about as I was reading this is seek out others that are different from you. Learn from those that are different than you. And then I also thought, based on the title, for those of you that often feel on the outside looking in, put yourself out there. Put yourself out there in a way that is the day that you begin. When Angelina put herself out there, even though she didn't feel like her summer quite measured up to all the travels and trips that everybody took, it really opened the rest of the room to feel like they fit, right? It was like laying a foundation for everybody matters, and everybody, you know, had a summer. Although different, they all had a summer. That doesn't make it bad, it just makes it different, right? And what is the value that I bring, and what were the gifts that I got out of my summer? So all that to say, as an adult watching this morning, my challenge to you is, are you going to bring yourself to this day, or are you going to continue to hide behind what you think others want and need you to be? Or are you going to bring your best self, your own self, to the table so that this world can be better because of it? That's my question to you. Good morning, Lori Treatbauer. How are you? For those of you jumping on a little late with us, you're going to want to go back and watch the beginning. I read a storybook, a child's storybook to us today, and I just feel like in the world where many of us are completely oblivious to the racial injustices happening around us, to those of us that struggle with the comparison game and insecurity, there's no better way to beat down those walls that are all around us than to get out and seek new relationships with people that are different from us, so that we can have a different perspective, a bigger, a higher perspective of what each of our own unique experiences really are. So anyways, I love you. Happy Thursday. I'll look forward to connecting with you here again tomorrow morning. In the meantime, do me a favor, share this. I believe this message needs to get out to so many people. God made us all fabulously unique, and I'm excited for us to celebrate those unique qualities more and more every day. Love you guys.